All right, we live. We live. Want to make sure everything is Tawab. Check, check, check. I had some technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. We're going to try to get through this class. Most High in Christ. Let's rock and roll. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West Harlem, New York, 125th Street, under commanding General Yohana, to teach all so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans the truth according to the Bible. And we got a good class today. Good class today. A lot of trending issues going on. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead. Put them in the chat. Like, share, and subscribe. Get locked into the 1 West truth of the Bible. Make sure I work with me today, having some technical difficulties, but it's all good. That's part of the game. That's part of the game. All right. There we go. We locked in. All right. Class today, we're going to talk about something that is plaguing our community, plaguing our men, our women, and with our men supposing to be leaders. A lot of shocking things to what's going on, Lance. A lot of shocking issues that are prevalent today, that have been prevalent, for so long. They've been prevalent for so long, and they've been continuing issues that we have yet to be able to fix. In the title on my TikTok, it's the gentleman Sharon Moore. So we're gonna pull Sharon Moore up. He's went viral. And we're going to talk about the topics of his real problem. What is Sharon Moore's real problem? At the core of what he got going on, at the core issues of his downfall, what was his problem? Where was the start? If you had to pinpoint a start of Sharon Moore's issues and problems, what was his problem? What was his issue that just messed it for a man to be taken on high and then to be brought down low? What could have been the issues that plagued that brother? I'll leave it for a second for some people to put in the chat. What was some of his issues that plagued Sharon Moore for his downfall? Anybody want to tell me? I'll give you a second before I put it in the chat. Sharon Moore's downfall. The brother's in jail. He just got out of jail. Let's see. Let's give a quick rundown of what Sharon Moore, what his problem was. Quick video.
University of Michigan football coach Sharon Moore was at the pinnacle of his career. But in the space of a few hours, his world has come crashing down. He was fired from his $30 million job. He was accused of cheating on his wife. He was investigated for a suspected assault, and he was being held in mental health protective custody.
A shock in the world of college football.
It's just been a stunning 24 hours.
In a statement, the university declares credible evidence was found that Coach Moore engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. U of M maintains zero tolerance for such behavior.
An inappropriate relationship with a staff member. This is Sharon Moore we're discussing today. And if you can tell me what his original problem was, where did it go wrong? What did he embody that was the core problem? Like his real issue. If you had to put it in one sentence, maybe even with one word. Let's keep playing this.
39-year-old Moore is married with 3 children. The woman involved was not identified. But as word of his termination was spreading, police were called to the home of his executive assistant, 32-year-old Paige Shiver. Published reports said that a woman called police from Paige's home late yesterday afternoon, claiming that Moore had attacked her and had been stalking her for several months. A little less than an hour later, Moore.
This sounds like the conversation where they say, I'm going to be a woman to woman. You know the conversation, I'm calling you woman to woman. It sounds like somebody called another woman and tried to tell them about, oh man, we got a problem going on, and this man, we both know him.
Moore was found at a church 7 miles away amid fears that he may take his own life.
He was found where? Hold on. He was found where?
7 miles away amid fears that he may take. Moore was found at a church 7 miles away.
At a church 7 miles away. This is Sharon Moore. He was found at a church 7 miles away. I'm guessing he had a breakdown. Let's listen.
Amid fears that he may take his own life.
A victim here, he did put a knife to his throat and ran out.
This takes the scandal into completely uncharted territory. We have never seen something like this before. This story has absolutely rocked not only college football, but all of sports.
Authorities have not announced any charges for Moore. The coach remains in custody in the county jail and is due in court tomorrow.
Quick video about Sharon Moore, college football coach that lost his job. I believe he was probably making something like $10-15 million. And think about what this has to do with his whole career, his whole downfall. When you think about it, what could take a man from on high to down low? What did he embody? Like, he looked like a good guy. He was a starch. I don't want to give it away yet. He seemed like a good guy. He was a good old boy, and he was I'm trying not to give it away so soon. But he had a good job. He was a good citizen. He got up and went to work every day. What was Sharon Moore? What was waiting for him to fall? What was just, soon as he used it, it was like, oh, okay, he's about to use that. And that's going to take him over. One more minute. I'm going to pull up another video. Just a real quick video. All right, I'll give it away. And of course, this is the I don't know if I started the restream with it. This is the ISUPK, Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of Wonder West, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Barakatah to the men. Yahweh Shamar Alatham Bahashem Yahushai. Oh, the water, sir. Most High in Christ. Let's break it down. I had some internet problems earlier. We're gonna break down what Sharon Moore embodied. I'm trying to give people a chance to put it in the chat. What was it? What was that was just pulling at him that to be in such a great position? He might have been on his way to the NFL. Great superstar coach. Nothing. Why do great men fall? I always wonder, why do great men fall? Nobody want to put it in the chat. Hey, damn right, sir. I think I wanted to pinpoint a better word. The man above me, he put a coon spirit. I got a good one. I don't want to say it's better than his. I got a good one. You ready? Sharon Moore. Hold on to your britches. Listen, class is so good. You get to come and now you get to. It's like almost like camp. Class is almost like camp. I know y'all waiting. Y'all like people on TikTok. What is this buddy talking about? I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you. Sharon Moore, and it's gonna break y'all heart. Sharon Moore was a certified stone cold Christian. He was a stone cold Christian. I know y'all thinking, hey, Khan Adawan Khan, sir. He was a modern day, not a biblical like Christ. He was a Christian. Like, just, I know y'all gonna say, I'm tired of hearing it. I'm sad. No, he wasn't. He was. He embodied everything that the American Black Christian loves. He reach in his pocket, he pull out them dollars that say, in God we trust. I can guarantee you, if I go on Sharon Moore's timeline, a month ago, he had stuffing, he had cranberry sauce, he had a life. I'm trying to be, give the right context here because I don't want to get these pages banned. Sharon Moore embodied the same thing Shannon Sharpe did. The red, white, and blue. He took on the whole armor of Christianity. He took it on and he said, this is me. This is me. I am him. I am him. Who is me? Me. He was a through and through. He was a better Christian than you Edomites. He was a better Christian than the YT man who dates black women. He was a better Christian than the YT men who want to be in the hood and want to be like black people. Sharon Moore was better at being you than you were. He could put on a quarter zip better than anybody. He could walk in the church and do everything, and he did it better than the YT Caucasian man. I can prove it. I can prove it. He embodied the spirit of, you ready for this one? He embodied this spirit. Sharon Moore embodied the spirit of a spiritual Israelite. He was a spiritual YT man. Damn right, sir. You got to understand how committed he was. Sharon Moore was so committed to his Christianity lifestyle, he went and got one of your women. The Beckys and the Karens, he said, I don't just want one, I want two. Now tell me that ain't, he was the head football coach. He loved America's pastime, the pigskin. You know, when they played the American salute before the game, you know he smiled. He showed all 52 of his teeth because he had a Karen on his arm. And then Sharon Moore became an Edomite. Like if Sharon Moore would have prayed for vitiligo and got, you probably couldn't have told him nothing. If he would have got what Michael Jackson said he got, Sharon Moore would probably be a congressman. The plague of black men. This is the plague. You have every option to choose, but you don't choose your own. There is a list of men that have fallen for the same trick. I don't know any man that is willing to give up $10 million a year. This is how you know his core belief was more enraged, more heavier. His core beliefs was heavier than the average American. I remember watching General Mahim's class, and he said the most patriotic man, people for that matter, are the blacks and Hispanics. They're the most patriotic. They're the most red, white, and blue, July 4th, forgive. Hold on. The absolute truth. Thank you for that comment. And you're right. But this is the core. Like, this is what, when you wake up in the morning and you pour your coffee, you're pouring your coffee in the wake up of being a Christian. Being a Christian is being American. This is the truth. This is the truth. Sharon Moore took on the whole armor of red, white, and blue. It's not me. It's been shown. It's been shown. Did he not? Did he not? He got the woman he wanted. He had the children. Am I missing something? Is that so you're telling me that on all of his life of what he came across, he never came across a beautiful black or Latino or Native American woman? He went and got what he wanted. He went and got what he felt was best when he took his pictures. When you take your pictures, you looking at what you got with you. You analyzing your children. You making sure your children dress properly. When he threw on that Michigan gear and he got in his pose and he got with, his woman, he said, I've made it. I'm one of them. I'm strong. The America has got my back. July 4th, here we come. Ribs on the barbecue grill. The answer was his way of life. No matter what you try to paint it as, everything that you are and that you do is based upon your belief. And now we're looking at another man. He was in a straitjacket. You telling me you go from being a head coach to being in a straitjacket? That's Christianity. That's Christianity. I tried to look up the core tenets of Christianity, and I couldn't find it. I saw faith, the death, burial, and the resurrection. Sharon Moore, before I get to these scriptures, I'm going to advise you. I'm going to advise you on the Christian armor that you put on. Let me advise you, buddy. You should go and tell the judge, Sharon Moore, you should tell the judge this. Tell the judge, the law is done away with. You're a Christian. Tell him. Tell him the law is done away with. The law died on the cross. Tell the judge, only God can judge me. Tell the judge that. You're a Christian. You're a certified. Like, you downloaded it. Sharon Moore took the USB and downloaded it. And he came up with his wife, his children, and the Christian side piece. The Christian side piece teaches you that you can just hide under the premise of monogamy. That is the Christian way. Every pastor does it. He has a woman on his wife, and then he sleeps with people in the congregation. Sharon Moore is not a victim. He is the embodiment. I'm talking about he is the Sunday worship. I tried to find the tenets of Christianity and I couldn't find it. I tried. Listen, I tried finding the core beliefs. I tried it. And I came up with so much. And you know what I didn't come up with? Nothing in the Bible. I came up with nothing that was in the Bible. The law's done away. You cannot have that. Sharon Moore embodied everything, and he couldn't change his color. He didn't know that the world wants your talents. They just don't want you. After every football player gets done and his knees is bad, he's replaceable. The one thing that's not replaceable is your actions and your beliefs and your laws, statutes, and commandments. I'm going to read something that the Christian church never told Sharon Moore. And last 2 points, because I'm running on. Can you imagine what Sharon Moore's life is like at home? Can you imagine the loss of respect? Sorry, Aaron, you can't get one of these, man. It's not a hat. But I understand, brother, or whoever you are. Matter of fact, Aaron, you can't get one, but tell me what was Sharon Moore's problem? Can you answer that? I'll have a quick dialogue with you. I want to get to these scriptures by 8 o'clock. Tell me what Sharon Moore's problem was, because he is a Christian. So I'm going to answer you in his Christian beliefs before I get to the truth of the Bible. I'm going to wait for Aaron's response. But can you imagine what life is like inside of his household? Can you imagine what Becky is putting him through? You lost your job. You lost $10 million. And you're black. You unemployed and you black? Can you imagine living with Karen and you an unemployed black man with 3 kids and she got to work? I know he's doing the dishes. I know he's going to cut the grass and do the laundry. Sharon Moore, you got it. You got it bad, buddy. You'll never live this one down unless you change your armor. No, it's not his knees, and he has a bank account. Yeah. Imagine you living with an Edomite and you a black man and you just lost $10-15 million and you got exposed. He's probably going to cook dinner every night, and she's going to make him go to therapy. She's going to make him go to therapy. He's going to have to discuss all his problems, his childhood, breakdown. You should have just got out of the church, Sharon Moore. Now, we're going to read what Sharon Moore probably never read because y'all indoctrinated that man. Every church pastor that he went to, every church. No. That's even worse. You give her half, and what happens to your children? he can come to the ISUPK. He can. He got it. It ain't over for him. And he can get built up. But until then, you know, that man has been destroyed by, you know, he's been destroyed by what he took on and what he believed. He believed as a Christian that you can have a side piece. Every Christian does it. Every pastor has somebody that he's either, you know, dealing with boys. This is all through Christianity. It's the truth. It's the truth. He's gonna go to church on Sunday. He's gonna take the chips and the grape juice according to his doctrine and his belief. Yes. And who's at fault, Aaron? It's not him. It's who taught him. He took it on. He took on him having an extra woman is the same thing as having another God in Santa Claus. Let's get to it, man. I've waited long enough. We're going to go to the New Testament. This is Romans. Let me read something to Sharon Moore. This is Romans 2 and let's go to 13. And he should tell the judge and the police officers that only God could judge me. The law is done away with. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to give him a rude awakening. Sharon Moore, you're a black man. Somebody should have told you this. This is Romans 2 and 13. For not the hearers of the law are just before God, but the doers of the law shall be justified. You ever heard the Christian church say faith, 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 faith? Faith, faith. I got faith. He had faith too. He had faith. He had faith in the Christian belief that he was one of them. He had the money to get out of it. And when the opportunity came, he broke down. This is Romans. It's saying for the hearers of the law, for not the hearers of the law are just before God, but the doers of the law shall be justified. Why nobody in the church want to say, we gotta keep the law. We got to keep the statutes, the commandments, and we'll be strong and we won't err and we won't go off on a path. Nobody is ever saying that, but they'll catch him in his downfall. They'll catch him after his life is destroyed. So many men. Tiger Woods was a Christian with $1 billion. This is the downfall that we see every time. We don't call them snow bunnies like Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar is crushed. He's crushed. Every time a black man gets some power, he goes and chooses a woman of another nation that the Lord never told him to do. Never told him. He told him what to do to be strong, to stay strong. Yet we ignore these things. We ignore them and we want to live a life that we think we can copy somebody else's way. And it never works. It's always a downfall at the end. Just give it some time. I'm going to tell you who I feel bad and I'm worried for. Side note, I feel bad for the up and coming streamers who are getting millions of dollars. The up and coming black streamers, it's because they're Christians. They're in jeopardy. The Kai Sanats, the Ty Lils, give it time. Give it time because they're going to bend just a little bit to what they know is wrong. They're going to say, man, yeah, I should take on that woman. creep with her. Next thing you know, she'll call the police and it's a lawsuit. Next thing you know, you gotta hide, the condom because she's going to take advantage of your stardom. All of these things are the truth. You put yourself in the fire because you don't have a strong foundation. For not the hearers of the law are just before God, but the doers of the law shall be justified. Now, what is that? What can we lean on that to say? Because I was listening to the captains, and he was saying every time we offer somebody something and they turn it away, they turn right back to their sin. What is Sharon Moore going to do after this incident? I wonder, what is he going to do? How he gets a divorce, blah, 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 blah. What is going to be his dealings with women going forward? Will he learn from his mistake? And what will he learn? He's going to take on the same armor, the same belief. This is Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. This is the hope. The things that were written aforetime. What was written before time? Aforetime, the law. These was warnings given to great men, priests, and prophets before, and we telling you now, don't sleep with that woman. She's nothing but trouble. Don't take on this way of life. You'll be destroyed. Everybody's greatest basketball player, Kobe Bryant. What was Kobe doing in a hotel with a YT woman? It scratches my head when people say, you know what, y'all Israelites are wrong. You're cult, you're weird, you're not preaching the gospel. And then I ask them, I said, what is your foundation of belief? And they have none. Whenever you the boss, like when you your own boss and you run your own show, you telling me you the CEO, you the worker, you the janitor, you the promoter, you play every role to failure. You're playing every role to failure. Instead of saying, do that make sense? Is that above my understanding? Am I really running the show like this? What are the fruits? Better yet, am I teaching my children that Sharon Moore is wrong? And if he's wrong, how is he wrong? Side note, I was watching The Breakfast Club. In The Breakfast Club, they was talking to some guest, and to the guest, they said, yeah, you need to go to this strip club because it's nice. Everybody in the room agreed. And I said, all of them are wrong and should be held accountable, because no one would promote a strip club if their daughters worked there. No one would be happy and promote a strip club if their mama was there. Yeah, man, you should go see my grandma. You know, Grandma Jenkins, she was at the strip club. That's how evil it is. What you want for yourself, you should want for your brothers, and vice versa. So we supposed to go and tell Sharon Moore, hey, man, this is why he wrong. This is where he messed up at. And then we supposed to read it in the Bible because it's the authority. I'm not the authority. The Bible is the authority. I watched them at that Breakfast Club promote a strip club with, half naked women. And none of them would be proud. None of them would be proud if their daughters had an OnlyFans. They wouldn't say, man, you want to go see my grandma OnlyFans? Because it's shame attached to that. We looking at this world and we seeing stuff happen to people, and it's like a highway. It's more than the internet highway. It's the life highway. You think Sharon Moore was just wrong for having a side piece. He was wrong way before that. He was wrong when whoever took him to church or whatever background, and they said, man, take on this. Live like this. What people do in the dark will come to light. You cannot hide it with money. The vultures will be at your door. The wolves will be at your door. Everybody will be at your door waiting for you to slip because of the armor and what you put on. You telling me Sharon Moore, he didn't stand a chance. Those new streamers, they don't stand a chance. It's over for them. Any black man with money that wants to be a Christian or a Muslim, any belief that does not have a foundation, buddy, you ready for a downfall. Because you don't have laws, statutes, and commandments to abide by the Lord. Oh, my bad. Hey, shalom, sir. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Brakatah. Hey, if you still there, man, when a brother hit 1,000, hey, listen, when a brother hits 1,000, sidebar, I'm going to try to get out of a little bit of work. Like a tad, like if I can like go talk to him and have a drink while we unloading the trucks or something, or you know what I'm saying, if I get a break on Shamar, I'm gonna be like, hey man, you know, I know 1,000 now, so I could be like, we cool. Hey, shalom, sir. Let me you know what I mean, come kick it for a second. Because we're gonna have a drink at Passover. Now your garment will probably be way flyer than mine. But when you know brothers in high places that the Lord raises up, I feel as if I got raised up. My brothers get raised up. I always say I'll never forget who was there with my first class and his son. I believe he had his son with him. Man, excellent brotherhood. And this is the brotherhood that Sharon Moore didn't have. Sharon Moore, he was supposed to have his homies from the hood, from wherever he came up from, and say, hey man, we can't be yes men. We got to be men that's going to keep you on the straight and narrow. That was what we were supposed to be. He would have never had that problem in this school. Let me get to some more scriptures while we rocking and rolling. One that the Christian church just ignores. It's almost like they don't read it. They're so proud and so boisterous. I've never seen a people that are so full of themselves and know nothing. This is Christ. Sharon Moore, why didn't your pastor tell you this? He could have said, Sharon Moore, this is Matthew 5:17. Think not that I have come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Not destroy, fulfill. Get this right. 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. 19. Whosoever, therefore, you know, Christians love whosoever. Sharon Moore, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. He can run a play. He can run Blue 42, Scout, Streak 9, Slant 22, and nobody wanted to tell him the Bible except for us. He could have got a championship, but he couldn't pick the right women to be with. You telling me you can run it, you can learn the playbook, but you can't listen to what the Lord is trying to tell you about who to be with, who not to be with. And we're going to get to that just so we know that I'm not very clear. Very clear. This is what the Lord say. This is not me being a racist. This is what the Bible say. The law is not done away with. Yet and still, we want to go to these women and we expect to get something different than what we give them. If you a man, you got to be a leader. You got to set an example. And the example is not to go after YT women. You could have stayed within your tribe, your father of Jacob. You had blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans of all shapes, of all sizes. But the Christian church tells you to love who you love. Love is love. Love is blind. Love is nasty. Love is transmission. I wonder, what did he believe was going to happen to him? You cannot live that life and expect good things to happen. This is one of the few points I'm going to make. When you take on an Edomite woman purposely, you are saying that Jesus Christ is a Caucasian man. Your God is a YT man. They are synonymous. You have to believe that if you want this woman, then you have to take on what she is. There is no separating it. You go get a ching chang, you're taking on karate. Just take the karate. Get in the karate gi. I'm trying to say it so that I don't get clipped. When you take on another nation of people who have different gods, you are welcoming them and their gods. I'm not making this up. This is serious. Christianity is not what was being practiced in the modern term. It wasn't Christmas. It wasn't Thanksgiving. It was not these things. What did he expect? That he could outcoach his sin? No, your touchdowns are not going to overcome all of the sin and wickedness that you do in this earth. You should look at it the same way. You're not going to go to McDonald's and get a T-bone steak. It does not work like that. That's not life. That's not that. We live in an imaginary time that we believe that what we put in is not what we're going to get out. This has to be the belief that people, in the mindset that people are going to do when they say, I'm not going to live according to the Lord. Like genuinely, people genuinely know whether they read the Bible, understand the Bible, and follow the Bible. They know if they take a reference of a piece of what they believe, of what they've been told, and then they know what they're living. Children, they don't. Grown-ups, they do. He was dishonest with himself. At some point, he just lied to himself because he knew. We know as parents, when Christmas is coming, we know it's not right. We know Santa not coming. Don't no man have a key. He don't have the code to the alarm. How is he going to fit down the chimney? Reindeers don't fly. We are lying to ourselves so bad that people are just insane with what happens. I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't know. Man, that's why he almost went and unalived himself. He just hit the wall. Man, well, I know I ain't living right. What am I living? How am I living? Why am I talking to this lady? What is this lady doing? Why is she snitching on me? Okay, this guy's giving me some information. He says, please watch God Logic, brother. They are telling you a lie. What lie are they telling me? Is God logic telling me to celebrate Christmas? I know. You just I'm gonna watch God logic and get what? Santa? We're a couple days away. Am I going to get? Is he going to tell me that Santa is in the North Pole? That's how idiotic this is, man. This is just dumb. Like, just dummies. Let's get to some more. Let me finish that scripture. This is Matthew 5:19. We started at the middle. But whoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. If anybody is teaching you, that's not even what we're talking about. If anybody is teaching you to break the law, if anybody is teaching you that they're a sinner, you need to be fearful of him, because a sinner will steal from you. If your man or your boyfriend is saying, yeah, I'm a sinner, he'll steal your car in the middle of the night. Why? He's a sinner. Accepting your sin is just giving somebody forewarning that you about to do something dirty. Think about it. Yeah, man, I'm a sinner. I just can't stop. I'm just born in sin. I'm covered in the blood of sin. You need to go find your credit cards. You should find your debit cards, and you should lock them up, or you should take them away. Get away from the people who are saying, yeah, I'm a sinner. You got somebody that work the register and they say, yeah, I'm a sinner. Go count that register. Be mindful of what you're thinking and the way you live in. Anybody who takes on that spirit, you got to watch them, man. You must watch them, and you must be careful around them, because they embody the spirit and the lifestyle of Christianity. Let's go to Proverbs 15. Proverbs 15. We're going to go to 5. This is Proverbs 15:5. A fool despiseth his father's instructions, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent. Verse 6. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the revenues of the wicked is trouble. What happened to him? His success is at a halt. He's made himself the image of another black man's downfall. He did not live righteous. He lived wickedly. Blacks and Latinos are sometimes so talented that they can cover what they do wrong with their talent and money. It happened with entertainers all the time. People who made music, what they did and the money they made, once it was gone, a name comes to mind. DMX was a Christian. DMX said prayers at the end of every show. Is there not a common theme with great black men? DMX, he was a Christian. He barked. He had the whole crowd going. Rough ride. And he prayed for everybody at the end of his show. And at the end of his show, he went and did all of the drugs. He was wild with, had so many different women and didn't stay with them. He was the same way. Oh man, let me pray for you and let me hit this crack at after my show. Rough Ride. Ride or Die. Smoke crack. And people loved him. People cheered him on. And who was there out of all his friends and family to say, we got to send you to rehab? The spirit of Christianity allows you to live in sin until that demon says, I got you. The demon just waited. The demon stayed. He got high, went to the hospital. This DMX. Sharon Moore, his demon. YT women. Oh, man, get you a YT woman. You think this is the first one? Get you another YT woman. Just, creep, lie, creep. YT woman, get another one. Until the demon said, gotcha. This YT woman is about to snitch. And your bag not big enough to make it out of this one. You got to defeat your demons early on. This is Tobit, and this talks about women. This is Tobit. We're going to go to Tobit 4 and 12. This is a great scripture that the general brought out yesterday. This is Tobit. You don't have to listen to me. This is the Bible. This is Tobit 4 and 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. It did not say go after a YT woman. I'll read it again. Beware of all whoredom, my son. This is the Bible. And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. It was talking about a wife of thy own nation. And take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe, for we are the children of the prophets. No, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. I promise you, a Christian pastor never read that to Sharon Moore. And even if he didn't read it. If Sharon Moore might have read it on an airplane, he didn't take heed to what it said. There are too many beautiful Black, Hispanic, and Native American women for me to choose a woman that's not of my father's seed, my father's tribe, my family. This is why family is so important. This is why the Bible is so important, because you have to regard the past, the prophets, the Lord, Christ. Everybody sets in order on how things are supposed to be. Now another Black man is destroyed and is going to try to climb his way up, when he should have stayed up and he should have gave some love to his own people. There's nothing wrong with that. And anybody telling you that you should prefer your own is a lie, because guess who else did it? The stinking Hamites. Them Somalians got their own city in Minnesota. Did they come and help Black people? When we were sending them 10, 15 cents a month to eat porridge, did they come over here and say, you know what? Let's help all of the people who ICE is oppressing. They came over here and stole $1 billion, a billy, and helped themselves. Sharon Moore fell victim to being a Christian. No, they're not. Sharon Moore fell victim to his Christianity, chasing YT women, living a Christian lifestyle, and it eventually caught up with him. I want to read one more. Yeah, man, and yeah, I'm gonna read. Man, it's so many. I'm gonna read a couple more. Let's go to James 1 and 22. Once again, be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. That same word was in Tobit 4:12 when he read, you should be with the women of your own tribe. Let me get another one. Let me, because the Bible is echoing the same thing. This is Nehemiah 13 and 23. 13 and 23. In those days, this is Nehemiah chapter 13 and verse 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab. Listen to this. And their children spake in half in the speech of Ashdod and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of each people. And I contended with them and cursed them and smote them and plucked off their hair and made them swear by God, saying, ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons. Hold on. Let's read that again. Ye shall not. Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for your. I read Tobit 4:12. It told you to take a woman of your nation, of your tribe. I don't know what what scripture that is. It say bless the Somalians. That ain't gonna happen. So and this is going to be the finisher. This is the finisher. Remember, this is what the Lord is saying. And the Lord is saying in Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and 13, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. That includes Sharon Moore. You got what you got now. Don't get any more. Listen to the Lord. Listen to the priests and prophets. Be wise in thy decision making. Be wise in picking women. Be wise in the actions and the beliefs that you take on and follow. Let the Bible and the priests and prophets be your armor. The law, statutes, and commandments. Have some cojones. Live your ethnicity. Don't live and take on another belief. Imagine the belief that you take on, you would expect to get better from somebody else. When you go meet somebody now, and you a Christian, just go tell them I'm a sinner. When you meet them, say, hey, man, my name is John. I'm a sinner, and I'm going to sin while I'm with you. And I'm going to keep doing it for the rest of my life. And, Tammy, I'm a sinner. I'm going to sin. That means you can't trust me. I'm going to do whatever evil, wicked thing that I want to do. Start your conversations like that, Christians. Start your conversations. Yep, I'm a sinner. I'm going to sin. I'm going to sin my whole life. I'm not going to keep the commandments because the law's done away with. Would you like a drink? That should be the opening conversation when you meet somebody and you're a Christian. If you're a Muslim and imam, say, hey, man, I'm a Muslim imam. I don't believe nothing. I'm not Arabic, but I'm trying to be something I'm not. And you should see how it goes. You shouldn't start your conversations with I'm going to love you and be with you for the rest of your life, or I'm going to be loyal, I'm going to follow laws. It would feel so much better. Can you imagine going to get your car fixed? And he says, all right, well, the mechanic, he says, well, I'm a sinner. Thank you for dropping your car off. I'll give it back to you later. That means he don't even have to fix your problem. Sharon Moore is another example of black men who have taken on the armor of Christianity and belief and lived another way until it destroyed them. That's the truth according to the Bible. Men shouldn't love whores. Men shouldn't love whoremongers. They shouldn't be whoremongers. Women shouldn't be whores. That's just the truth. With that, I want to remind you to pay your tithes. Passover 2026 is in Houston, Texas in April. Contact the number below if you have any questions, comments, if you're willing to really try to seek the Lord and fix life and change your ways. You have an opportunity in everything that you do. Brotherhood is a weapon, and keep the Most High Christ in all that you do. And on this earth, until Christ's return, our leader is Commanding General Yohana in the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West Harlem, New York. This is your Tuesday ISUPK Cincinnati Brotherhood class.